said, the old bitch is coming out of retirement, and Purdue's like quoted me as saying, "This next song was written by Johnny Bitch back in 1980, bitch," and I was like.
How's everybody doing? This week we've got the infamous and venerable,
Both.
Vulnerable and venerable.
/ venerable.
Skitz O Fuel, if you can believe that. How you doing, buddy? It has been a hot minute.
It's been a long time.
Brandon and I talked about this the other day. I don't think he's seen you in like 6 or 7 years.
Brandon Mann?
Yeah.
When did he leave for Denver?
He's been in Denver for 4 years. But he's in town today.
Yeah.
But he's having lunch right now with his family.
It doesn't seem
surprisingly, it might have been.
Wow.
I don't know. That's what. Yeah.
That is wild.
So, guys, Skitz here has written numerous publications. He's got a book, The Night-Filled Mountain.
Oh, was I supposed to bring stuff?
Oh,
I didn't bring props.
I'll put pictures in the thing. We'll put links to all his Amazon shit on there. Finding Romulus Rome, Rivers of Blood, which is how many?
Yeah,
like 100 and some odd chapters.
Well, I mean, it's
segments. It's like a long-running story.
It's 500. Oh, that. Yeah, it did. It started out as a week, bi-weekly, weekly. Yeah, I would put it up, and then eventually I turned it into a full-fledged collection.
That's a full-on.
Yeah,
hey, Troy,
still pushing it.
I gotta cut this out right quick. Troy didn't shut this fucking door.
Oh, damn.
The wind's blowing like shit today, so we'll blow that door open. Let's trim that a little bit out. Anywho, so what? You wrote another book after Night-Filled Mountain. What was it called?
Well, I had a bunch of short stuff.
Like that, I've got the Finding Romulus Rome. Got one of those.
That short story.
Yeah.
Shortish.
So you've been, but you're a very decorated writer in the anarchy circles.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I guess.
And
as decorated as that can be.
For you kiddies out there who don't know, Mr. Fuel here has been in and out of the music scene for quite some time. Some of the rowdiest shit you'll ever hear in your life came out of this man's mouth. So, yeah.
Yeah. Politics and sex.
Yeah.
Man.
That's he's been a great role model for me.
Yeah.
That's half of the loudmouth model came from some of the shit that's spilling out of this guy.
I'm old enough now that it's all just old.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just cliche now.
So you've got you're coming out of partial retirement.
Oh, yeah. Well, right before the pandemic hit, Mike Watt, who most of you may know who Mike Watt is. He is most recently famous for being the bass player for the Stooges, Iggy Pop and the Stooges. But he's really like a founding member of the American punk rock scene with the Minutemen and all that jazz, Firehose. Anyway, right before the pandemic hit, he had another band with a guy named Mike Baguetta and Steven. I don't remember Steven's last name, but he's been in a lot of projects too. But anyway, they've got a band together, and they were going to start touring, and then the pandemic hit, and then two years later, I got the phone call again that they were going to be coming back through. And in the meantime, I was on Mike's podcast, which is
really?
Watt from Pedro Show. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, check it out. It's up there. But yeah, I'm coming out. They're coming into town this. I don't know when this goes on, but it'll be Friday the 18th at the Golden Light.
Yeah. So this will be out probably this evening.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. So
Put one out this morning.
Friday of this week.
Yeah, I've got a crazy schedule. I had Jeremy DeLaura and you. I've got Donnie Blair Wednesday. Got I can't remember. I think I've got Kane on Sunday. So
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff. So
Are you making any money off this deal yet?
I'm not going to talk about it here, but yeah,
There you go. As long as you can make a little scratch.
yeah. Look at all these devices pointed at you here.
Yeah. Well, you've never been one to pay for devices.
Yeah, no.
So you just appear somehow.
Yeah. Well, no, man. No, this is all legit shit. I actually own all of this crap, man.
Wow.
No, this is that's the Zoom Q8N. This is my new toy. Man, I used to have a bunch of shit on here,
Yeah.
a mixer and cables and everything. It was very threatening, and
No need for
I'm
this.
trying to hone all this down into a simple 3-camera setup. I want to get a couple more of these,
Yeah.
get rid of all this other shit. But
Gotcha.
these are expensive, so.
Yes, they are. That's why I'm surprised that you paid for it with actual pennies.
Well, I don't work for Hastings anymore, so.
Well, that's true. Nobody works for Hastings anymore.
No, that's a sad deal. So you're playing the show Friday. Got Fraff show this year too.
Fraff, yeah, finally kicking up the Fraff again too. I had
Fuck
meant
yeah.
to do Fraff. I had planned on Fraff 3 years ago, but I just had a brand new baby and I had started a new job and things were just out of control. So
Yeah.
I canceled that show, and then the pandemic hit, and then so this will be the first Fraff in May 5th, which is his birthday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Fraff's birthday is on May 5th, so this will be the first one of those in like 4 years.
What day of the
almost.
week is that on?
It's a Thursday. It's our first
sounds
Thursday.
like first Thursday.
Yeah.
So we're doing
At the 806. Yeah.
we're doing the Lemmy show that same weekend.
Yeah.
At Leftwoods on the 7th. So that's going to be a wild weekend.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, well, I can't guarantee the Fraff show will be wild, but it'll be Fraff tunes. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Link was in town last week.
Really?
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah.
Popped in. I just looked up and he was there. I left. He was about to do sound for some band, and oh, okay. Well, fuck
Who was
anybody.
he? What was his reason for being here?
Just hanging out, seeing a few folks.
Crazy.
Yeah.
They usually wind up playing a Link tune,
Yep.
a Mockingbird Cartel song that he wrote, probably. Yeah.
He hasn't touched his guitar in maybe once in the last 3 years.
Really?
Yeah, he just doesn't do it anymore.
I tell you what, dude, I hadn't touched mine in at least 2 until I decided to do the Fraff gig. And then Mike called. This is the first time I've touched my Jetstar in many years.
Yeah, that blows my mind.
Many years.
So what are you doing? Are you doing full band? You got a band or?
No. I knew that it just didn't feel right to go into this MSSV is the name of the band, which stands for Main Stop Steam Valve. And I've had a lot of like old school Navy guys DM me on the like, who's the Navy dude? I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, because that's some sort of Navy term for steamships or whatever. But I
did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't either. But when I listened to their stuff, which is really just like really avant-garde fusion jazz stuff. Mike Baguetta has a very interesting guitar style. He's one of those guys that has played guitar forever, but it sounds like he just picked it up yesterday. He somehow stays in key, but not quite on. He's a really interesting guitar player. He's one of those guys.
He's very liberal with his notes.
Exactly, very. And so I decided it wouldn't be best to go up there and play a bunch of Skitz O Fuel, sexual innuendo, laden acoustic songs. So I wrote about an 18-minute instrumental / there's a little bit of vocals in there.
Really?
And if that doesn't come, because I don't know, I've tried to weasel out the time that they're giving me, but I can't get Pootie to tell me exactly how much time I've got. So I carved up about a 20-minute instrumental deal, and then
I'd be willing to bet you've got about 35 minutes to 40
Perfect.
minutes. That's kind of
perfect.
how they roll over there.
Okay.
Kind of how I do my openers too.
That's perfect. Then I can do my Disney tunes after my
I'm not gonna lie. I actually straight up stole that from you this weekend.
What's that?
The Not in Nottingham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the first things that popped in my head.
I knew you had this stuff coming up. Like, you know what? This motherfucker's not going to play this stuff. I'm going to play this.
Well,
we credited you on it, though.
Oh, well, what credit me? I mean, I didn't.
Well, and Roger, we talked about Roger Miller, and but
good songwriter, bad fireman.
But I also played Hannah, and I played Screwed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, you got to play Screwed.
You got to play Screwed. Yeah, that was one of the ones. People are staring at their phones and they go, yeah. Man, sometimes I'll listen to it because the kids will beg me to listen to my music. Oh God!
I'm like, oh man, there's nothing I can play. There's nothing I can play.
Yeah.
So you have to find the one where I'm not really enunciating very well. So, but I forget. I really forget over the years how many people have actually appeared on the recordings. Like you.
I was wondering
it
about
always
that.
shocks me when I listen to
Brian
Screwed.
Wilson.
I'm like, holy crap, that's Tilly.
Yeah. And who's Drew playing theremin on Whiskey Rilla? And there's a fiddle in there somewhere.
Oh, well, that thing's crazy. Yeah. Drew's got the theremin. Gabe Dixon played fiddle, which he'd been playing violin for like a week, and you can tell.
I thought he pulled it off pretty good. I couldn't tell.
It's amazing. For what the song is exactly what the song needed. Yeah, for sure.
Damn. Yeah, that album, I've had a lot of fun with it. I've got stuff like this everywhere. This is something of yours. Some old promo thing.
And it's got my actual name on it.
Yeah, I know.
Too. What
right.
the hell
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that's weird. Oh, you know what? That might be. Are you sure that's music?
I have no idea.
That might be like some kind of computer backup, some kind of software deal. Oh, you're just you're trying to get rid of there might be some incriminating material on there.
Well, I don't know. You know what? If you want to keep that out of your kids' hands, I can just put that on a Google Drive there for you.
Yeah.
I do have some stuff for you before you go. I've still got your Ghost in the Shell box.
Oh wow! I forgot all about that.
You might want that.
I forgot all about it. Everything's in the cloud these days.
Yeah.
So I don't ever, hard copies are weird to have.
It is weird. So you got 2 kids?
Yeah, I've got a 6-year-old boy and a 4-year-old.
We have
girl.
3 kids. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. I have 2 kids that are with me at the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got he'll be 24 this year.
Is that old?
Can you believe that, Junk?
Wow.
Yeah, he's in New Mexico going to college, archaeology and like a minor in Japanese or some stuff.
Far out, man.
Who knows? I don't know.
It's that weird shit from his dad.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that's cool, man. And what are your kids into?
What are my kids into? Kid stuff.
Yeah.
Logan's discovered basketball, so he's been playing basketball. My daughter's just into acting like a 14-year-old, pretty much.
Yeah.
She has perfected the eye roll at 4. Perfected it. I'm hoping that she gets all of this behavior out of her system before she actually hits 14.
Oh my God! If she doesn't, if that compounds,
that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
I'm worried that she just gets better and better at it. So I don't know. She'll get bored. I'm hoping she'll get bored.
She's gonna graduate college at 12. And move off on her own.
Hopefully, that would be nice, actually. But
so we've got a lot of weird stories with. Remember that there was one show that this really happened. We played a show at the Golden Light in drag.
Yeah, what was the name of the band?
So that was Nearfall. Those guys. Oh, that was probably the Electards or the Fudge Bullet or something like that.
The Electards was the name of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We opened for Nearfall?
No, they opened for us. Remember, there was supposed to be a costume party that nobody got in costume for except for us. We all dressed in drag.
Yeah.
And then those guys kind of muscled their way on that gig.
Many details for me.
I
muscled their way into the gig?
Well, they just kind of squeezed in. They didn't get paid or anything, but they brought a crowd.
Okay, I can't blame them for that.
I've
done that at the Golden Light.
But what they failed to know was that we were doing that. We were, a country band. We had Josh Fitch, who he was dressed like an Asian schoolgirl. We all had our girlfriends do our makeup.
Yeah.
And you had the little You had a mohawk at the
I
time.
did have a mohawk. Yes, it's true.
And Kat did my makeup.
Some kind of weird.
And I wore that orange dress, like a big fucking road cone.
That's right. Cigar.
And yeah.
And that's not the first time that I've dressed up at the Golden Light.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was actually pretty mild compared to the first time.
What was the other one at like that art theater way the fuck downtown? Was there like a Halloween show?
Oh well,
Did you
yeah.
do that? I know Brandon
It
did
was
that.
just me. I dressed up, in a dress, and did an acoustic bit for some burlesque. Was it a burlesque show? Yeah. The first time I ever dressed up at the Golden Light was the very first time that some of us had actually. Well, it was Thick, the original Thick lineup, and things got out of control. We weren't supposed. It was like near fall. Getting in that we weren't supposed to be on the line. That's not true either. The Humans had booked a gig. Luke Holder's band jumped on as part of the lineup, and then we somehow, who had like 3 live shows ever, we talked them into letting us in, and then we put out a flyer. Like we did, like you do.
Oh, yeah,
the flyer was apparently too offensive for the owner of the Golden Light. This is how far back it was. It was Mark Reed.
Yeah,
Mark Reed owned the place. He was livid about the flyer.
Was this the Conway Twitty thing?
Yeah, there was all kinds of stuff on it.
I remember the coffin.
Yeah, that's right. We did. We had a coffin on stage at that show, which is not something you see at the Golden Light.
Cliff Schrag, I remember one of his stories when he stepped out on the side
That
one
was
day.
months later. We could not get rid of the coffin.
Yeah.
We couldn't get rid of it. And we kept trying to figure out ways to leave it at the shows.
Yeah.
And like Red, who used to own, what was the name of that place? That where
The
Art
Bear Club or something like that.
I don't remember what the hell it was. Yeah, we tried to leave it there and he wouldn't let us leave.
Grizzly Bar.
Grizzly Bar.
Yeah.
But that was a crazy show. Mick, the bass player, had. He was wearing a sundress. He had shaved all the hair off of his head, eyebrows, everything. A completely cue ball head, and then he had nothing on underneath except a Argyle sock around his junk. And we were jamming, just playing our show, and they were trying to shut us down. They were going through the crowd. Mark Reed and his buddies were going through the crowd, asking people, are you here to drink, or are you here to watch the show? And of course, you're at a show. It's both,
Yeah.
They couldn't get anybody. They couldn't get, the poll was not high enough in their favor to shut the show down. Well, meanwhile, we're up there jamming out. Mick keeps lifting his dress up while he's jamming, and there's a sock hanging there. Okay, whatever. So we're jamming out, and I glance over at some point, and the sock is on the stage.
Oh no!
And the sock is on the stage, and the sock is, So, and he kept lifting. He didn't know. I think he knew. He may have known. I don't know. Yeah, there were all kinds of stuff that happened that night. That was the first time I dressed up at the Golden Light.
Yeah.
There's the Thick days were.
That was, and the electards were basically just thick with country chords,
Yeah.
But like that show, I remember we all stepped, so like we're all in the back, right? Noisy bar, full bar. And then you remember it got fucking dead silent. And we didn't know what was going on. And then all of a sudden Purdue comes in through the front door. Because nobody knew the score until Purdue walked in, because he couldn't get in through the back.
Yeah.
And so he came in through the front, and then everyone just went, Shoop.
Was he dressed up?
Yeah, he had that green dress. He had like an old lady dress on.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
I hope you're watching this, Brandon, because that was one of the crowning moments in my musical memories. And he went back there. We came on soon afterwards. And I remember your dad never fucking went to those shows.
My dad was at that show. I forgot. That was the thing about that gig.
Yeah.
Because he was like halfway through the set, it was time for him to leave. And he just came up like halfway to the stage, was like, I'm leaving, I'll see you later. I was like, and we were all just sort of, and then
watched him
go, and he went past the thing. I was like, good night, Dad. The whole fucking place started laughing. Oh, man, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was a good time. I remember there was a couple of cowboys. These motherfuckers had spurs and shit on, and they were kind of in the front row. They were there to see the band before us. And those guys, when we stepped out, those guys went...
Yeah, they're in the wrong bar. They're checking the sign on the wall.
This party just changed.
Yeah. That happened a lot at the Golden Light, though. It's weird that place has become so fluid.
Yeah.
You know, used to be like who was there this week? Mike McClure, who's been playing there since Mike McClure's from Oklahoma, one of the original Red
He
Dirt
played
guys.
last night.
Yeah.
Chad Miller, I think, played with him.
Yeah, Mike McClure was one of those guys that was from Oklahoma that came through there all the time when the Texas country / Red Dirt / whatever / it was back then. One of those dudes that was supposed to make it, and I guess if you're playing for a living, I guess you made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you,
and then you can watch. I mean, Angela and Ryan have done a pretty good job. Turning that place into what it is, I guess.
Yeah, and they've got that other joint across town now. It's like
the Beer Garden.
Yeah, it's like over the way down Southwestern somewhere. Yeah. I haven't been there yet. I want to check it out. But I don't have any fucking time,
Well, that's what you do around here. You work. You start over here, and then you buy yourself something on that side of town, so that because that's going to be the money maker.
This is your love project. There's your money.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, what time is that show supposed to start Friday?
I have the funniest idea. I would assume. You would know more about
the
times.
They start shows weirdly early sometimes, but I think it works for me. Like we're a late show at Lefty's.
Yeah.
But I think they start some shit at like 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know, but I mean, they get a crowd for it though. Especially with Mike Watt. I mean, they had Reverend Horton Heat and Dale Watson last year.
Yeah.
Like 2 solo shows, and that was at like 6 o'clock. But I mean, it was like
on a Sunday.
I think it was a Saturday.
Okay.
It was a Saturday, but it was packed.
Yeah. Well, it's a golden light,
Limited seating. Like they sold so many tickets, and that was it
for sure.
And they still have those just beautiful one-off things that just pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm hoping that there's still enough of the Crusties left in Amarillo. They'll show up for Mike Watt's show. We'll see. A lot of those guys have moved off, or in more ways than one.
Speaking of that, I did a tribute show yesterday for one of our dearly departed. This is a good time to mention. I'm going to throw it in here if you don't mind. If you guys caught the Denton tribute show at Sunday, there was quite a bit of confusion in regards to the T-shirts, and so we did them online. If you go to ericstribute.xyz, sounds sketchy. It's a real website. We just pointed to an online store, and you guys can get all your Denton merch there. It's going to help Missy out. And thanks to everyone that already bought shirts. We sold about a dozen of them yesterday online. So anyway, I'll put a link to that in the description at the bottom too. Sorry.
No, yeah, sad to hear that Denton's gone, man. I he's one of those guys that was around forever.
Yeah.
We played. I'll never forget because there was always back in the day when what was it called back then? What is Slater's station?
So it was originally Z-Rock.
Z-Rock.
And then it was just Rock 108.
Rock 108.
It's just been Rock 108
okay,
since then.
So Rock 108, yeah. He either called on, what was that band? What was his band, Denton's band back then? That covered
Tongue and Groove.
Tongue and Groove, okay, yeah. He either called on Tongue and Groove for certain acts, or he called on us for certain acts. Now, of course, Tongue and Groove got more of the gigs because more of the gigs were that softer side hair sort of side of the thing. And then if it was like, I mean, we opened up for Pygmy Love Circus.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, which was Danny Carey from Tool and that kind of stuff. So we were a little bit more, and Mike Watt.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the first times he ever did call us was when one of Mike Watt's bands was playing. And I'll never forget, there was a sort of rivalry. We didn't treat it that way. They didn't treat it that way. But when we got together and we were around each other, there were all these little poking jokes at each other. And I remember we were playing on the same stage as them one night at, it wasn't Bangers, was it Bangers?
So it was, it probably was Bangers.
And I remember it was the ass end of that bar's life. But anyway, they had gone up before us, and then they were going to go on later, and we were going to go on. But for some reason, they wouldn't let us bring in our stuff. If we were going to play, we were going to play on their equipment.
Oh.
And so Mick and I brought instruments, and that I think we had like it was one of the oddball times when we were in between with real solid drummers at the time. But anyway, we went up and did our set, and I remember Denton coming over and going, "I can't tell whether it's my guitar or you, but it sounded really good." I was like, I'll take that. We don't give each other compliments very often, but I'll take that one.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, not his guitar, but I can't remember. I can't tell whether it's my amp or whether it's you. But I was
Well,
like, yeah, okay.
You still have a little Marshall?
No, that Marshall croaked off. I may have left that with somebody.
Oh, all right.
I don't know. No, I sold it.
Did you?
I want to say that that guitar shop over there on Georgia. What was that little guitar shop over on Georgia? Was it Georgia? No, Western Street. Bell Street. No, Western Street. A little guitar shop over there. Those guys got it.
No, I don't know.
They work.
B&J's?
B&J's, yeah.
That's Court's deal.
Yeah, Court. Yeah, I think Court got a hold of it.
Yeah.
I think I may have left it with him. I don't know.
Somebody was talking to me yesterday about that. Somebody said they found a Hojap recording of yeah.
What the?
It's like somebody like one weird live recording of Hojap, and he's supposed to get he's supposed to get with me and get me a copy of it.
Hojap.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't even remember what Hojap. I remember the name.
That was you and Court and
that's right.
I can't remember.
That's right.
Probably Purdue.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. That's what the name Hojap. It was me. That's right. Oh brother.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
How many Beatles and Ween covers can you cram into 2 hours?
God almighty.
Yeah, that was wild. Hojap. I haven't thought about that.
I remember we wanted to fucking kill Purdue. And one time he shows up, we're supposed to rehearse, and he shows up on a scooter. He's got a fucking iPhone with a drum app on it. He wanted to plug that thing in. I'm like, no, dude.
He was on quite a few weird pills and stuff back then. Yeah.
We're gonna blame it on that.
Yeah, we're gonna blame it on the
poor medication.
Antipsychotics. Yeah.
Yeah. That guy's doing pretty good now, though. You know?
What's that?
He's doing pretty good.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Living in Nashville for a long time. I remember they were
hanging out with like people.
Yeah, the Cage the Elephant guys and all that shit. You know, they're all buddies.
For sure.
They go to Foot Locker together.
Yes, they do.
I remember there was a fucking tornado that hit real close to them.
Recently.
Well, no, it was right before the pandemic hit. There was a tornado that hit Nashville, and it fucked a big chunk of the town up. But then the pandemic hit right after that, and everyone forgot about the fucking tornado.
Yeah.
But they weren't hit by it. It was like it hit one side of them, came up, and then hit the other side of them. So they were okay.
Yeah.
But you couldn't get a hold of them because like a couple of cell towers got wiped out.
Crazy. Yeah, they just had another.
Oh, did they really?
String of tornadoes over there. Yeah, I had to check on him. I had forgot. You forget sometimes that people. That's the weird thing about this day and age. You're still so connected to people that are hundreds of miles away, and stuff happens, and you're like, oh, wait a minute. I should probably check on them because it's almost like they're next door, and if there's something happened, you would know.
You take for granted the fact that we've got fucking Facebook here. Everyone's connected on that thing, and it's a weird. There's a weird because we're so connected, we become disconnected from it. And you just like, oh, I can buzz them on Facebook anytime.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
yeah, Purdue's doing pretty good. Yeah, he and the girls are getting man. I mean, it's one thing to see your own kids. Yeah. Your own two little timelines running around, but then to after a month, 6 months at a time, go, oh dang!
Yeah, you haven't seen your friends' kids in years, and boom, they're fucking. Yeah, Kyler's son's like, well, he's my daughter's age.
I forgot.
Kyler's like fucking 30 now.
Dude.
Yeah. Dude, he hung out at the bar last night. We had a hip hop show last night, and he was up there hanging out with Brandon and those guys.
30
and
ish. Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Old man's. Bunch of old mans.
Well, Brianna, my kid, she's fuck man. I've got 2 grandkids, dude.
Yo.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm that guy.
Yeah. There you go.
And the guy that refuses to grow up has that going on.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. No, I don't think I've grown up. I'm just permanently grounded.
Yeah.
I'm just grounded.
Yeah. What the fuck are you doing? You're a welder now, right? Or you've been doing that for a while.
I've been doing it for a while, yeah. I work on tank cars for the railroad, or not for the railroad, for a company that, for railroad cars.
Yeah,
I love the work.
It used to be like Progress Rail or something like that. I think they got bought out or something.
Yeah. It's been hell. I love it.
Do you really?
I love it. I thought the actual physical work, man. I've never done anything as fun as this in my life. Go to work every day. You basically go to a job every day, and they tell you, here's a blowtorch and a hammer. Just go tear this down. Just tear this to pieces. Tear it up, and then just kind of throw it back together.
Yeah.
But as any corporate situation, it's God, nothing can mess anything.
You have to wear a hard hat.
Boss.
Shit like
Oh yeah, you got to wear a hard hat.
Yeah.
Goggles, the whole bit, leathers.
Yeah, fucking Burns is working for some big welding joint out on.
I almost went and got a job
Yeah,
with him.
he would. Yeah, I told you.
He didn't. I wish he'd have warned me about the weld test, but
Oh.
it was something. I've had to unlearn things that I learned and relearn things that I unlearned. And when I went in there, I had no clue what they were really looking for. But
Oh, wow.
Whatever. It really turned out because when I found out that I didn't get that job, I realized that 2 weeks later we all got a raise where I was working. So I was like, okay,
Right.
whatever. But yeah, I hate not having time, because you know me.
Yeah.
If there's anybody who has sucked the free time, you and I both have sucked whatever free time we could ever sucked out of life. And unfortunately for me, I think I took the big chunk that I was allotted by the gods. There were 4 years where I didn't collect a check, and I lived just fine.
I'm still trying to milk that situation a little bit, and it comes and it goes. But that's why I do all this shit now. I will never go back to working a regular dick job again.
Yeah,
I mean, you fucking heard it right here, guys. Never happen again.
I wish I could get away with it.
After I left the corporate network environment, and I started bartending.
Yeah.
And I make $6 an hour plus tips. It sucks, but you can make a pretty good living doing it.
People have made really good living doing it.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do sound at Leftwoods, and I do this, and I play gigs, and I work 30 hours a week all day.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, And the bartending gig, same thing. It's not as physical as your work, but I'm up, moving around, doing shit, lifting kegs, and it's fun,
Yeah.
I totally get that. I thought about going back into farming, just because I miss work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things like at this job. It's a 10-hour shift, and generally you work a Friday, which turns it into 50 hours automatically. But 10 hours when you're actually doing something with your time, you don't even notice the 2 hours. I don't even notice it.
Yeah, you just burn it off. Yeah.
But I mean, I wish that I had more time with my kids. I wish I had more time to write. I wish I had more time for everything. But hey. I'm not really complaining. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I'm living pretty good.
You got a pretty nice setup out there. How's your lady doing?
She's doing good.
Yeah.
She's
still the massage therapist.
Yeah, she's massage therapy. She wants to go into teaching after the daughter turns a certain age, 5 next year. But we'll see.
All right. Well, all of her family lives there and shit too, so I guess that's...
Yeah, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's like I went from here where my family was the mafia, right, controlling, pulling all the strings behind the curtains, to Claude, where her dad is the mayor of the town.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude. He's the mayor, so it's like we walk into any place and they lay it all out for us. Which I wish
sir.
Yeah, I wish that were true. But, yeah.
Claude.
We laugh. Her oldest brother's like, man, I never thought I'd be a part of some corrupt political machine. And I thought I never wouldn't be part of a corrupt political machine. But, that's life in the small town.
Indeed. Yeah. We still talk about you quite a bit. Skitz named this place Little Colorado.
Oh yeah.
And the name stuck. Yeah. You can, if you're ever here, you can check in on Facebook, Little Colorado. Yeah.
People bring up stuff, dude. the amount of things that I have said to people, and then they'll come back and tell me, hey, and I'm like, oh wow, yeah, I did say that. Like just the other day, Purdue was like, I posted that picture of the Jetstar, and I said, hey, the old bitch is coming out of retirement, and Purdue was like, quoted me as saying, this next song was written by Johnny Bitch back in 1980, bitch, and I was like, he says Skitz O Fuel, I was like, oh fuck, I did say that, didn't I? Wow. Yeah.
You've had a lasting impression on a lot of folks around here, man.
Come on, man.
You were a big cog in the wheel, man.
Yeah, man. You know? Another nobody opening up for another for almost nobody.
No. Court had a band called Almost Nothing.
Yeah, he did. He did, didn't he?
But I can't wait for your kids to be old enough you can actually tell them, maybe not your daughter, but your son, yes.
There's no way to keep it from.
I mean, it's the internet, man.
Yeah,
they're gonna figure this stuff out. There's gonna be a curious Tuesday afternoon. You're gonna be out mowing the yard.
Yeah.
And they're
like, hey, what does this mean?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's the internet. Yeah, we didn't know. Because we grew up when it hit.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool. And then we spent years like living with this phrase that it's on the internet, it's going to be there forever. Yeah, whatever. What's going to be there forever? Nothing. Everything.
Everything. Everything.
Like, I recently, I was like, this is embarrassing for many reasons. Why would I apply to get a job at Pantex? I don't know, because they start at $35 an hour. That's why you would apply at Pantex. Yeah. Here's the other embarrassing thing. I took the entrance exam, and I failed. Now, I probably failed in the math portion, and I probably, because, hey, numbers.
Yeah.
And I probably failed by, like, one. Like, barely one thing I screwed up. And, because the mechanical part was no big deal. Well, there were other guys that I knew, at my job even, that had applied and got in. And so that means that the FBI is calling their supervisors and whatnot and doing the background checks. So when I was talking to my supervisor about it, who's like a kid, he's like 24 years old, whatever. So I was asking him, so what kind of questions they ask? And when I heard the kind of questions that they were asking about this other guy, I was like, oh yeah, I could have blown the top off that test. They were not going to let me through the doors at Pantex to do anything. Like, one of the questions I think was, do you think you would ever have the inclination to overturn the U.S. government? And I'm like, well, all they would have to do is spend a few minutes on the internet to find out, well, yeah, this guy's not a candidate.
That's like a page one.
As a matter of fact, we need to move this name on to another agency.
Yeah. Let's keep an eye on this guy. What's that book about?
Yeah, it's still up there, all of it. So, yeah, it's all there. It's all there, all of it.
But we live without regret.
No, we don't. We have no regret.
That's right. Well, so you've got show Friday at the Golden Light with Mike MSSV.
Mike Watt.
Steam Valve.
What is that? I'd hate for this thing to keep going. Yeah. MSSV on Friday. There may be another band. Is Fitch in a band called Silver Bullet?
Silver Bullet, yeah.
Okay, because I think there's a possibility that they may be part of the show.
Yeah.
But I'm not. Oh, okay.
Eldon's mentioned it in the past, but I didn't know how solid that was. Yeah. I don't know. And if that's the case, then maybe shorter sets. I don't know.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if that was in stone or not. I just remember him talking about it.
Yeah. So Stephen Hodges is the name of the drummer in this band. And I know that off the top of my head I couldn't tell you, but if you read a list of the projects and bands that their guys play drums for, it would drop your jaw.
Wow.
I just these guys have just been around forever, and I couldn't tell you everything. But there's that, and then on a couple of more months, May 5th, the Fraff gig. And if you guys have never been to a Fraff show, come on down because it's still trying to spread the word.
806.
That'll be at the 806.
806.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fraff was, for those of you guys who don't know, Fraff was, he was an Amarillo local for a long time, and then he was in the hobo, the train hopping circuit.
Originally from Fort Worth, and he was part of if you read the literature, Fraff and some of his buddies over in Fort Worth were some of the first people to start the screamo phase in underground rock.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a kid in Finland or Norway or something, who put up an FM, what's that internet site? FM something. I don't even know what it is now. But anyway,
Ask FM.
Maybe so. Maybe so. With an entire bio of A Sleeping Body was the name of the band.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Fraff started, and this guy treats it like this is like, these were the Egyptians to the, to ancient civilization of screamo bands. But that's Fraff.
Keystone to the history of that
exactly.
genre.
Yeah. But yeah, Fraff was originally Fort Worth, and he moved. He did a bunch of traveling on trains, hoboing and whatnot.
Yeah.
He came to Amarillo, worked with Stanley Marsh, and he was peripheral to the Stanley Marsh stuff.
Yeah.
He lived with all those kids, and he wrote a bunch of really, really good songs.
Yeah. And
Died about 2006.
That was 2010.
2009.
Somewhere in there, yeah. It was in January 10th.
No, it was 2006.
I don't think it was that long ago, man.
Yeah, it was. It was. Because I'm able to gauge everything off of my albums. And so that first album, Ghost of the Golden Light, came out, and it was right around that time, which was 2006.
Huh. Okay.
Yep.
Well, fuck.
Yeah, it was a while back, dude.
In a hot minute.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, I don't like that reality.
Yeah, saying that the 2006, 2007 was a long time ago is really weird. But then I also think I bought my first cell phone from you.
Yeah.
And dude, that couldn't have been 2002, 2000.
It was a Sanyo flip phone.
He knows what the phone was.
Dude, I think I still have it in the garage.
Probably.
I've got like a historical archive of phones in the garage, and I bet it's still out there.
Yeah.
Those little speakerphone things you took out to the desert with you.
Yeah.
You remember that fucking thing? You had to climb to the top of a fucking mountain to get a signal?
Yeah, for sure.
You were out there a couple of weeks at a time. I remember a story. You, what was it, a fucking, like a mountain lion or something? You heard the feet.
Yeah. I never saw it, but I got chased by a mountain lion out there. Yeah. I would normally have had my mountain bike, but I had broken a wheel.
Yeah.
Like the second day I was in there. That was when Fraff died.
Yeah, it was
like 2 days in to that trip.
Yeah.
I got a phone call that he had died, and I knew he was. Of course, he'd had the wreck, and he'd been in a coma for a month, but yeah, he died 2 days after I'd been in the desert, mountain lion chasing me out there in the Big Bend Park, and I just didn't have the money. I was waiting on a lump of money to show up for me to be able to move, to just get fuel to go, and I just couldn't. It sucked because for all the different reasons, but yeah.
God damn. Yeah.
Those were the days.
Okay. Well, man, I think we're going to wrap this up.
Yeah.
So, Skitz O Fuel, Mike Watt, maybe Silver Bullet. Friday, was it the 18th? No, Friday's
Friday 18th, yeah.
Is it the 18th?
Should be. I think so. Let's check the old...
Yeah, that's the 18th.
Device.
Friday the 18th at the Golden Light Cantina over on 6th Street, not the one across town. And then Fraff Fest, May 5th at 806. And then God knows when we'll see this guy. He'll go back into hiding, go back into remission.
Yeah.
Right now, the cancer is alive, and it's going to be, festering in the boils of the music scene. Man. And then it's going to go back into remission after May.
Yeah, that's right. It's been really weird. I forgot how heavy that guitar is.
Oh, the Jetstar? I think it's brutal, yeah. I think it lived here for a long time. I think it was how old are the strings? Are the strings older than your kids?
Dude, that reminds me. I need to buy some.
Yeah.
You can't buy guitar strings in College, Texas.
No, probably not. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, man, it's really good to see you, man.
Good to see
I'm
you.
glad to have you back here. And sometime if you want to do a show, I'll keep carrying the torch for you, man. I'll keep carrying the torch till you come back to life.
Yeah. Hey. Once a year. I'm hoping, if we can keep all the diseases at bay, that I can come back and do Fraff again next year. So let's see. That's the one I really like doing.
You should come do you should do a couple songs at the Lemmy tribute sometime.
Oh man, I don't even know what. That's to me. I don't even know how you choose the songs.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You just pick one and go.
Yeah, for sure.
We've been playing the same ones. Parlo just refuses to learn one of them, and so like we're making him get in an Iron Cobra so we can do a double pedal and overkill.
Oh, that's why it won't do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he just got one, and now he's kind of into it, and that's a whole other podcast. All right, man. So Amarillo Rocks. Stay tuned for more episodes. We've got Donnie Blair coming up soon. Kane Whitaker, Lyric Lee Johnson. I think some of these guys got on here. So y'all hang out. Remember our motto: wipe front to back, clear your browser history, and go see some live music. Amarillo Rocks.